Building inspections gets Googled 2,400 times a month nationally. Today I'm going to check out and rip apart a few competitors. Then we're going to plan out a website and what kind of SEO optimized website am I going to build for this space. So first things first is I'd like to check out the chunk of the pie. How many times a month is this key term, or what kind of key terms are getting entered into Google? So in other words, what keywords do we want to rank for to get leads? 2,400 is the exact match, building inspections, but a variation of that term gets searched over 100,000 times. Now, if we break down some of the key terms, there's 10,000 unique ways that this keyword gets searched in Google each month nationally. So this is Australia-wide. Let's see if we can pick out some good ones. So look, I've already spent some time on this and I can see building and pest inspection. Okay, building inspection, building inspections with an S, building pest inspections, gyms, bang. So big brand with a lot of brand awareness, a lot of trust, of course. Building and pest inspection. So here we go, Geo, we got Perth. So from here, I usually break it down into Melbourne traffic, Brisbane traffic, Sydney traffic. In this case, I'm targeting on looking at both Melbourne and Sydney. So the next thing I actually do is I Google the term building inspections, let's say Sydney, and I check out who's on page 1 and honestly just rip apart and see what their website is made out of. So we've got building inspections Sydney, so almost an exact match domain. Let's take a quick look at how many pages do they have. So site semicolon, we've got 38 results on page 1 and 2. So not a big site. This to me is an outlier. I believe Google is picking them because of the exact match domain. It's definitely contributing. They've got some videos. I'm not going to spend too much. I'm just going to quickly have a look at their backlinks and essentially the plumbing under the house while I go and have a look at some other ones. Independent building inspections, once again, another exact match domain. Let's have a quick squeeze at this. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these similar looking sites. Let's have a quick squeeze at how big these guys are. Bit bigger, 153 results. What have we got? This is a Wix website. Good to see Wix at the top of Google. This is a WordPress website. Let's have a quick squeeze at their traffic. What kind of traffic they're getting. All right, what have we got? Last 5 years, heading in the right direction, sitting on 1.6 thousand backlinks coming from 23 unique domains. I wonder what's going on there. Organic traffic looking really healthy, heading in the right direction. It looks like website went up in 2015, sitting at a cool 543 organic visitors a month. This is an estimated calculation. I'm going to check out their top pages. Top pages tell me if I was to build a website, what kind of pages should I be building on my site. Here we go. There's a tag page is okay. Bot blog, roof, void, defects check. Nope, service page. What a building inspection report tells. Looks like a blog page. Let's have a look at it. Yep, it is a blog page. Nothing special. I like what I'm seeing so far. I don't want to say these are going to be easy sites to build, but they're not. We're not injury lawyers or dentists or financial advisors. But let's have a quick look at some more. Building. What else we got? We got one more, and then we're going to plan out some pages. Materials, property inspections, nicer looking website. Okay, ooh, this is cool. A bit of engagement there. We've got the logo grid, the partners grid. So this is a bit more established. There's a bit more of a brand behind it. You've got real faces. These could be stock. There's no mention of signage anywhere. Materials, building advisory. What's he got? Is it materials? No. Okay, let's have a quick squeeze at their pages. So this is a site that I'd like to spend a bit more time on. 255 indexed pages. Let's check out their on-page titles that they're using. So going for the brand property inspection. So it's a brand plus the main anchor keyword. Most professional and experienced building inspections. Why choose Tyrrell? So well optimized titles. That's good. Let's check out their traffic very quickly. All right, what have we got? Not much going on, but it's sitting on a cool 384 visitors a month from Google. there's not much going on. I don't think these guys are actively working on SEO. They've just had a SEO optimized website built, and it looks like, let's have a look at referring domains. It's heading up. I guess they're picking up organic backlinks. Now, I think there is some sort of SEO happening, but usually your organic keywords should be going up unless Google is starting to de-index some of their posts and pages. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Let's have a look at the keywords that they show up for. Building inspections, property inspections, fire, stairs, Australia Standard, got it. So that must be a blog showing up for that. Building inspection Sydney, looking good. Let's have a look at their top pages, just so I can skim over the kind of pages that we need to build. Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay. So one of the things I like to do is I like to put their domain into Screaming Frog, and what this tool does, it essentially gives me a map of all of their pages, and essentially gives me like a map of the structure of the site, and I can see the way they're positioning their SEO pages. Geez, they've got quite a few of those. So 54. They've got dedicated pages for team members. Let's have a look. Team member Gavin Swan. Nice work. So this is a big sign of trust, right? You've got a whole section. I'm assuming everyone has a page like that, since I just picked it up on Screaming Frog. Yeah, everyone has this is a huge trust signal. Bonus points if you got the contact number there, if they included like a link to LinkedIn, or if they tied these guys to some of the blog articles, it would give them a bit more SEO juice. Now, did that just lose focus? Anyway. Okay, we've had a look at the pages. We've had a look at the kind of websites that are ranking at the top of Google. If I was to build a website in this space, is the kind of structure that I would go for. Okay, so I like to have a lot of similar elements across my sites. My sites are like, call them lead gen sites. They're a lot of the time optimized for SEO, for local SEO. So showing up in Google Maps, Google organic results, and my websites are designed to run Google ads. So first things first, I like to start off with a hero, then a list of logo grid or testimonials, feature section, testimonial sections down here in this case, benefit section, how it works, team section, call to action, FAQ, plus schema. The pages that I call brand pages, a lot of the time will be the about us, the FAQ, blog posts, which is just a grid of blogs, projects. If we're able to get some projects on board, obviously this particular site is one of my own personal sites, but for a client site, I would get a variety of projects, so we would capture them either on video or the client would generate their own content. Maybe a pricing page. I'm seeing in this space some websites do display pricing, some don't. Terms and conditions disclaimer, they're your standard pages. As far as the SEO pages, now each page is designed to attract and get Google's trust on a certain keyword. So we will have just a general building inspections services page, which is just a grid of the services. And then it's going to jump into pre-handover house inspection, pre-purchase building inspection, building defects inspection, etc. Now, these pages have been designed with a certain level of science. So the way I build SEO pages is I go and deconstruct the top websites that are currently showing up for these terms. So in other words, building defect inspections in Melbourne, in other words, building defect inspections Melbourne or Sydney, right? We have this many websites, right? What I do is I go and deconstruct them and understand what average elements make them rank. In other words, what's the average amount of paragraph text they have, headings, titles, what are the common phrases that are being used? Because essentially, Google's showing us the algorithm. Here are the websites that they're showing that they're showing at the top. So if we deconstruct them and average out their on-page elements, we will have a higher chance to rank. If we also match or overtake them on the off-page elements, which is things like backlinks, which I call plumbing to the house, electrical cables to the house, whatever you want to call it, we need it. So it's the engine under the hood, right? And then people also asked, if I was to draw up a FAQ plus schema module on this page, this is the kind of stuff, these are the kind of questions that I'd be answering. If I was to go and schedule 20 blogs to be created, I'd be hovering around these topics. Bonus points, business owner can jump on camera and record a 2 to 3 minute video on each one of these. We'd load that footage up onto YouTube. We'd load it up onto the social channels. We could possibly use that footage to run a Facebook ad, and not to mention that it will make the website really pretty and engaging with the founder-led content, not stock images. You want to shift away from your typical stock images where possible. Now, for building defect inspections, we're targeting Melbourne. Let's have a look at, these are the competitors that I looked at. And what we're looking at here is, on average, from 1st to 10th position, there is an average of 1,800 words in the body. Now, that's telling me that potentially we have some listicle directory type posts in the mix, which is throwing off the average. So let's have a quick look. Can I close this? No. Look, for the sake of continuing this, what I believe is happening is a few of these posts have like 30,000 words of text hypothetically, which is like a common listicle type setup, which is throwing off the average. Here we go, 10 major defects. No, that's a blog. Sorry, I thought it was 10 major, so. All right, the keywords that we're seeing these posts show up for: building, defect inspection, etc. The type of questions, the PAA questions surrounding this topic. How much does a building inspection cost? Bang, there's your first question on the page. How much do building inspections cost? We can answer that in one go. What do building inspectors check, right? So these are things that could be as a very basic FAQ question on the page, but these potentially could be their own blogs. What do building inspectors check? Bonus points if the business owner jumps on camera and actually records himself doing a check. We've all seen the TikTok inspector. He's got unlimited amount of now trust and authority because he knows his shit. Popular words, popular phrases, common words, common phrases. So essentially, if we go and create pages with these kind of phrases, these kind of words, these kind of H1s, H2s, H3, headings, alt text, meta descriptions, paragraphs, bold, not bold, these are the elements, we will have a higher chance to rank than someone that hasn't paid attention to this and someone that's just jumped on and built a website and added some text that they thought that they needed. So essentially we're applying a little bit of science to the creation of these pages to give us a better chance to rank. So if we go back to our design, we've made a really basic wireframe. Now wireframe is the initial phase, it's the before Figma phase. So from here, our Figma creators will export this into Figma and start coloring things in, putting the logos and stuff like that. So we're still yet to determine that. But this is a very common structure that a lot of my websites follow. We've got a big call to action. The text is still very much filler, but you have a big call to action, a big title, which is H1 a lot of the time. H1 that includes the main keyword that we're going for. So building inspections, right? We've got a basic intro, a call to action. We've got a grid of logos that we are partners essentially. Sometimes instead of that, I'll put testimonials depending on how many we have. I like to get a nice carousel of testimonials, depends on the client. Sometimes we'll put a contact form here. Other times it'll be an image. So it depends on the client, depends on the campaign, depends on what the purpose of this website is. Then we go into a service grid. Sometimes there'll be 6 grid, sometimes there'll be 8, so sometimes it'll be 3 by 3. In this case, we're going to put client testimonials a bit further down, and we go into like features and benefits, and also the process, schedule the inspection, meet the team. If it's a big enough team, we'll have this many rows. Otherwise, if it's a sole trader, it'll just be an element with the owner there, and then basically the FAQ, and that's it. Most of my sites, we keep things pretty simple. This is a good initial draft for the Figma team to begin building out and begin coloring things in. So to recap, we had a look at Keyword volumes, we had a look at a few competitors. Obviously this is a very rough analysis, but we get the gist of what kind of pages that we need, how many backlinks do we need, how many pages that we need, what kind of blogs that we need to have on the pages, and the kind of sections we need to have on the pages. Hope this helps.